Welcome back. I'm Tyler here with my brother Ryan, and today we are breaking down the Miami Dolphins 3-round mock draft and the players that we selected for them. But before we do that, be sure to like, subscribe, and also ring the bell to get notified whenever we create new content. We have a bunch of Dolphins content coming out, including 3-round, 7-round, and also individual mock drafts leading up all the way to the 2024 NFL draft. And lastly, too, Ryan and I, we have a little goal of trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the Super Bowl. So this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe. It's the easiest way to help out our channel and to grow and meet our goals. So Ryan, let's pull up the Miami Dolphins chart here. So quick little orientation of what we're looking at here. Miami Dolphins pick is in the middle there. It's highlighted, and a couple picks before and a couple picks after as well, just to give a sense of what players were taken off the board already and also who were still available. Philadelphia was picking 22nd. They're the one that picked Enos Rakestraw there. Sorry for the little error, but a lot of different things I think Miami could potentially do here. Maybe they could go edge rusher. Leatu Latu is still on the board here. And I say that just because with Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, and the injuries that they sustained, what's their 2024 going to look like? But Ryan and I still like this pick. Troy Fautanu, one, just in general, Miami Dolphins need offensive line help. I really do like Troy Fautanu, but I also think, too, he adds flexibility to potentially kick inside. But in general, though, he's one of the quickest and shiftiest and most explosive offensive linemen in this class, as well as what we saw within his time at Washington. So I think he would fit in really well to what Miami's trying to do with their offensive scheming. So what are your overall thoughts kind of on this pick so far?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think protecting Tua and building upon this running game that they established in 2023 is going to be priority number one. They did a great job of covering up this offensive line in 2023, and I think bolstering it up in this draft, I think, is going to be a big deal. Troy Fautanu, fantastic player, like you said, really athletic, really explosive. I think he fits this scheme well, and I think worst case scenario for him at pick 21 is you have a really explosive starting left guard, and even if that's the case, I think Teron Armstead might be back at left tackle. I know he's been a little injury prone, but then if that is the case, he does get injured. Troy Fautanu can kick out to left tackle and just, again, be solid for you. I think that's all they're really looking for, guys that can be in the right spot at the right time and that are athletic. I like this pick. I think it's a fantastic fit. So,
yeah. I think a couple of the guys here, and we're going to get to receiver here in a second, but potentially could go receiver here just because of the cap space that they're in. The Dolphins are not in a great cap space entering 2024, and they only have two receivers on their payroll as of right now, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So kind of that's what leads us to then our second pick. There's a lot of other team needs. I would say potentially could also double dip on the offensive line side here. Potentially could get some more secondary, even though I know they got Cam Smith last year with their second round pick. So to kind of help build up some of that secondary. But we end up going with receiver here, Jalen Polk. I think that he fits in perfectly to what they're trying to do with Tyreek Hill and also Jalen Waddle as well. How much speed that they have. You had him as that consistent slot, receiver. Another person that Tua can really rely on. I think it makes this offense even that much more explosive here. So you're really kind of the more and more I thought about this pick, I think he would fit really well within what Miami's looking for. I know it might not be like the specific need that they have based on just trying to fill out a roster and just get good average talent. But that being said, though, they only have two receivers on the roster as of right now.
Yeah.
So
well, I was gonna say, and that for me, I think those two receivers are Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, which are going to be coverage movers in themselves, and I think that just gives Jalen Polk even more favorable matchups at the next level. And with his speed and talent, he is 6'2", 200, and I just think that's a great skill set to have with those other guys that are 5'10" and under. And I think he'd be a great fit. He's going to be a reliable weapon for Tua. He's going to be more down the field, I think. But again, I think that'll just open up more things for Jalen Waddle underneath, more targets for Jalen Waddle underneath. Where, I mean, I think he's done his best work. I think, had the rookie record for most receptions in a rookie season until recently, when those guys have just been busting out of the woodworks. Speaking of Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua. So I really like what the Dolphins were able to do in this draft. Just to kind of wrap things up here. So offensive heavy, I think that's very fitting for the the Dolphins, a lot of what they do is offensive based. The only other position I could really see them targeting here would be edge rusher, and that is just because Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips both went down to serious injuries in 2023, both late in the season as well. So I'll be very curious to see what they do. Also, Andrew Van Ginkel is a free agent, and so he may not be back with the team as well. So like those are their top 3 pass rushers right there. It'll be interesting to kind of see. But Troy Fautanu, offensive lineman, super athletic. I think he'd be a great fit. Jalen Polk, very explosive wide receiver with maybe a different skill set than what the 2 guys have, but I think a perfect complementary piece there for that group. So.
Yeah, I think all things considered with their cap space, and then they do have limited draft capital. Once again, I think they'd be very satisfied with those 2 picks here. So curious to see what Miami does in this offseason, how they mitigate the cap space. I'm assuming that a lot of the guys that are free agents are not going to be coming back, especially too in that receiver room, and they're going to try and find more affordable and also some rookie pieces as well to help come in and contribute.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what you thought of this Dolphins 3-round mock draft. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let us know what you would do differently. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.